Yeah, hey, alright guys, what's up here today? This is Man King Viper here today, guys. Hey guys, I'm bringing you guys a little quick IndyCar series video right here. I'm gonna, right now, we're going to Richmond International Raceway today. This is just a quick race, so it'll be at Richmond. Gonna go Richmond. I have been asked some stuff by Major Payne, what car setups do you run for each track, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run you guys through the car setups that I got, because it's kind of difficult at the moment for myself because I haven't been able to get much time to upload and record now. This track here, Richmond, I have seen on the comments of some of your videos, Major Payne, that a lot of people do generally seem to complain about the tyre wear, how it kicks out in the end of each race. And the thing is with this game is that the specific setups that you run, it takes the game is very sensitive to how you set up the car, and each track needs the perfect car setup, otherwise it isn't gonna handle and correspond. Whereas, and I've noticed that ever since I've gotten these car setups myself, that it has generally seemed to be a lot more effective for myself at tracks like at Indianapolis and Michigan and Kentucky, even tracks like Kansas where you struggle to get that straight line speed, and even at Nashville, everyone struggles at Nashville there because of the way the aero's set. Well, so we're just going to go and run into the car setup here. Now, if you're wondering what I'm running for my quali and my race, there are two different variations of setups that I have for each track. Now, I'll show you guys first what I run with qualifying. First for qualifying, I run with 36 PSI at the front left, 42 at the front right, 33 at the rear left, and 38 at the rear right. Now my springs, I run them at 60, 60, 85, 85 at the front left, and the front right is 60, and the rear left and rear right is at 85. Now the dampers on this is, there's a big difference when you're setting up the dampers, especially because it helps the, like it says there, the, by the bump or the rebound setting of it. So for qualifying, I run 55, 45 at the front left and front right, but then at the rear, I run 80, 70 at the rear left and at the rear right when I run that. Now, ride height, I run with 45 at the front and 50 at the, 45 at the front left and 50 at the front right. Same goes for the rear right, 50 and 50 at the front right and rear right, and rear left, so on. Because here with the ride height, I also did notice that the lower you set it at some tracks, the more effective it will be, but then you set it too high or too low and the car will generally tend to bottom out a lot, so that helps also. Now the gearing on this is also very important because let's say for a lot of tracks that the default gearing that is set for each car, it generally tends to be that the default car setups are preset to whatever they would run in real life. So the wing settings and that would be what they would be running on race day, I would presume, or something else like that. So for quali, I run 76, 113, 141, 173 at gear 4, 195 and 211 at gear 6. And the camber, I run 0.3 at the front and the rear left. Front right, I run with minus 0.4, the front right and the rear right for the camber. Now the toe-in is at 0.7 for the toe. This generally tends to make it so that that some tracks you'll notice when you go to Gateway in Richmond, the toe-in will be significantly more, but I have it across. And for now on, before I before we get into the race, I'll show you guys the car setups first. And then the wings, of course, the wings I run at 24 and 61. You can set it all the way to 65, but I run it at 61 at the rear, 24 is the max at the front, and 61 at the rear. But you can get it all the way set up to 65, but I recommend running 61 at the for the qualifying setup. Now, that's quali done. The racing setup is slightly different. The pressure, like you can see there, 36, 42, 33, and 38. It generally tends to be that the settings, you have to have them set differently for the race and the quali, because qualifying is short term, because you're thinking about a short run of where you're going to get, and I guarantee you your results will be astounded. You guys will get so much more quicker lap times, so much more quicker consistency, and it will make it so much more better. But do not run manual transmission, because it is ridiculously hard to use on this game. So as we go through here, the dampers, is more harder. It's 70-60 for the front and 80-70 for the rear. That time, big difference in qualifying. The ride height is at 55 at the front and rear left at 55, and the front right and rear right is at 60. The gears is slightly different for the race. It's 76, so I don't think there's any difference in the gearing, how it's set for racing and qualifying. I think it might be different in the final couple of gears, but I'm not too sure. Now the camber is at 0.3, 0.4, 0.3 for the front and rear left. Rear right and front right, 0.4. Now another thing why I am running through these setups really quickly is that the camber is critically important to the balancing of the tyre temperature in the race, because you'll generally notice that you'll have a mixed bundle of tyre temperatures with the default setups that everyone runs, because this game is so sophisticated in terms of how the cars handle and correspond to each track. It's very hard to get the cars set up right. So so I'm running them like this because it makes it very effective. And and the tyre wear generally seems to be a lot different. Now the toe-in here is slightly different to the race. 0.4 at the front left, and then minus 0.5 at the front right. And I'll tell you, have the toe-in like that, because the toe-in is very important at these short tracks, because it helps turn in the car a lot more easier. And the wings is at 24-61 again, 24-61 wings. And so as we hop in here, I won't be bothered about the race. We'll just start from last place here, because you have to qualify on pro. And so we'll just hop in straight into the race. Big difference in both. So we're here as Thomas Scheckter. What the heck, we'll give qualifying a go. So 167 miles an hour, 171. So as we after AJ Foyt, pole position currently is at DeFarron for 172.129. Now when you do your qualifying run, make sure your fuel is set to make sure you have it as low as you can go at the minimum. And when you do your quali, make sure that you crank up your front wing to 24.5 just to give it that extra deg on the wing. Because the car setups that I have in the garage, they're slightly different to the front wings, because you can either have it at 23.5 or 24.5, or have it at 24.5. Have your fuel as low as you can go and change tyres on, yes. But when you are experimenting with these in test drive, the first time you go out, always make sure you have changed tyres on off, because if you have them on, if you have it that like that you want change tyres, that your tyres will be cold. But if you have them, if you tick no, then like if you don't want them in test drive like that, then you'll get warm tyres. But if you do it like that at the start of practice, it's very hard to get it right. So yeah, so here as we run out is Thomas Scheckter. Now, like I said, you want to have your fuel mix cranked up here, and your white jacker also as well. You need it up. Whoa! That was
Your qualifying run starts next lap.
Okay, I really fucked myself up there. I think it was at minus I was meant to have it at. At Richmond, you need it at minus. I'll just have to run over and cast it up so that I got written down. I'll have to go over them because,
Watch your speed in the pit. Keep it under 60.
Yes, it was at minus that I was meant to have it at. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'll pit in and get it redone straight away because also the weight jacker, like a lot of people ask, the weight jacker, most tracks you need it all the way up, but some tracks say when you get to Chicagoland you need it minus 6, so you need to adjust it 6 notches down. Right, so as we're giving another go here. Now when you come in on and off here, you want to kind of jump on and off the throttle, and as you can see, it makes the car handling characteristics, it makes it a lot more easier to control the car. You see how much more easier the turning is on your runs, and with that toe and the camber that you have adjusted to the car, it makes it a lot easier. And I run always in the chase cam view because it gives you a excellent view of your surroundings on the outside, and also you don't have your spotter telling you where all the cars are because it's very distracting for myself when I race in this game.
Your last qualifying
169.90 because on this game the AI comparing to the first game, they are extremely slow in qualifying, but on this game they're a lot more competitive on their runs. And as we cross the line for a 68.5, which is yes, 16. So we get 10th on the grid, not the best. I'm very, very, very sloppy at this game because I have not played it in a long time. There most probably will be a caution period in this race. Now, when you're in the race, about the fuel mixture, always have it set to point, always have it set at 4. The only time you ever adjust the fuel mix, which of what I recommend is that when the caution period comes out, if one comes out, we'll set it to 0. If you set it to 0, you are maximizing fuel, you're running at minimum revs, and you are saving fuel and conserving it. And also, if your crew chief or your spotter or whoever's on the radio tells you to pit as soon as they open, which means by you're in your pit window, then make sure you do it because the leaders will go in. The only time you ever don't want to pit in during a time like that is if you're a lap down. And I do see a lot of people get into a lot of chaos here. So as we start off here, we're in 10th. So as we put it down, we put the weight jack all the way down. Now your fuel mix, you want to keep it at 4. So as we get ready to roll here, 3, 2, 1. And also be in mind here, be careful on the starts as well because of the way the gearing is set on them. I'm very bad at my starts here at Richmond. It's very hard to control the traction. So as Kanan's down there, I've got Kanan and Sarah Fisher, I think it is. There's Franchitti, he's on us. Ball or on the outside. On this way, the reason why I race like this is because it gives me a much better outside view. Kanan's running on the outside, he's got the inside line, we have to yield and give him that back. I can't really pull it off here because I don't really want to be taking any risks here. Because this game has a tendency for, this track is so dangerous to the fact that once you get up to the back markers, it gets very, very hard. And also here on Pro, this is, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter, but the way with the weight jacker, oh, snap, oh damn.
Yellow flag.
Alright, so we got a yellow flag. Alright, so like I said, you want to have your fuel mixture set down there to 0. You've got a gearbox problem, and like you heard there, pit as soon as they open. Now, the reason why I said have your fuel mix set onto 0 is because of what will happen is that you'll hear everyone's revs drop, and basically when they say green flag this time by, what you want to do when they say that is when auto drive, depending on if you have auto drive on during caution periods, it makes a big difference, because I like to have my caution auto drive off, because at some tracks on the game, just to tell you the reason why, at some tracks like a Gateway or other circuits like those, or Miami for instance, you'll get a caution period and it's kind of a bit of a glitch where every single car is going really slow and you line up behind them, and because you're not right up at the back of the car or the leaders, they will not commence the green flag. So that's another reason why I run caution auto drive off, and also it teaches you to be very patient as well. And yeah, so as we come out here, we're going to be a lap down, I'll presume. I'll most probably presume we'll be a lap down by now. Yes, we are. There goes Unser, Sharp, Foyt, Kanan, Kenny Brack. There's Brack, Bull, Roger Yasuakawa. So as we pull up behind Robbie Buell. Now we're on lap 5 of 20, so I'm gonna really toss up the fuel load mix, or really have it. I'm gonna have it go up, because as soon as the pits open, the green flag will commence soon after, and also as well try and weave the tyres while you're in the caution period, because this way you get much better control over the game itself. You'll find it's very difficult to make up ground if you crash out, but if you have a lot of patience with this game, it will work. Myself, I've done a whole entire season on this. I've collected almost every single card that there is to get, and yes, it is very good, this game, very, very good to play. So as we hit the 18-minute mark here, because I'm recording this on my phone, because I do not have a capture card or anything like that. Alright, so the pit's now open, so everyone will come in this lap.
Come into the pit on your next lap.
I like the race crew chief just said.
Green flag this time by.
See, and you heard green flag this time by. Now, if that happens before you enter in the pits, set your fuel mixture back up to 4, because what will happen now is that everyone will speed up as soon as
green flag is out. Go, go, go. You are 2 laps off the lead lap.
Because what will happen is that everyone, you see right there, because the green flag was out, so because also in the caution periods you get a little sign that comes up, do you want to pit in or whatever. Every time you come around, it will say pit, yes or no, and that way makes it a lot more difficult, because sometimes you'll select yes, but because of the way that the AI drives in the caution periods, it's kind of a little bit skeptical. Alright, so now that you've refueled with 25 laps of fuel, you can crank the fuel mixture all the way back up now, because this way you'll get the maximum heat out of your tyres. Like I said, if you're doing short 20 lap races, then it's perfectly fine to crank the fuel mix up to the max once you've pitted in. But if you're doing quarter distance or half distance races, keep it at 4. The only time you ever want to turn it down to 3 or something is if you're in the if you're in your fuel window period, because also drafting helps out a lot on those big high speed tracks. Or as we almost get into the back of Yasko car there, we tapped the back of him. Luckily we got away unscathed as Tony Renner and Kanan exits the pits.
You've taken 22nd place.
As we pull it outside, move on Yasko car on cold tyres, and as you can see, the tyre temperatures are much more balanced. And this is another reason why a lot of people struggle, because the way the default car setups are made is it's made for anyone to drive, but it's also set to how the track and the cars themselves are set. And to personally tell you, I really did like playing this game. Just after a very long time that I stopped playing it. And also a word of advice, in qualifying, at the start of the race, the tyres you use on your qualification time, so the tyre settings will remain the same as what they were for qualifying until you change a fresh set of tyres. And also in this game, I noticed in pit situations, during the race, if you get damaged, you want to go in and get it repaired straight away, because if you don't, it's really gonna hurt you. Because on top of that, if you lose your front wing or damage your suspension or your electronics or something like that, it's really gonna kill you. Because we come up here on Unser, and like it said, we're 2 laps down, so there's Unser, he's in 5th, so we're just coming up to the front runners here, Unser, Sharp, Castro Neves. So these guys would be on 3 laps to go now. So just trying to make up as much ground as I can. I'm in 19th ahead of Rice.
White flag is out, this is the last lap.
Yeah, so like it is now, it's already the last lap for me.
Lap so far.
Yeah, that's also another thing here as well. So it looks like I'm going to have to settle here for 19th, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I've also specifically done this video because people have asked me that they struggle at Richmond when they come up to this track at each race. And like you see there, I had a 16, best time was a 16.3. Now, if you look at the massive times there, that is almost a second and a half quicker, faster than the AI. Now, when you run these car setups in the race, you will be at least a second and a half faster, or even quicker than that. It all comes down to self-confidence, how well you've driven the game. Myself personally as well, I do also want to show one more thing before I go. Now, I'm running on the Xbox 360 here today. I'm running this on the 360. I'm not using the stuff now. I'm using the Xbox 360 because this is reverse compatible. And another thing, when you are racing, now I know steering wheel options that you do not have a steering wheel, but have the center sensitivity set to 0 and the speed sensitivity and the assistance set to 0, because what it will do is the more higher you go, the more faster you go on the high speed tracks, the game will deliberately slow you down. And also skid control assistance, you want it set at 0, because then that way you will have no more wheel spin, and when you spin out you will have complete control of the throttle on the car as well. And also like I said here, my advanced game options, I have transmission is on automatic AI adjust is off. Now the reason why I have it off, there's a thing that I'm going to explain really quick here, is that automatic AI adjust, basically what it does is that say that if they are in front of you and you are 2 laps down, what will happen is they will deliberately go twice as slow. If you are not on the lead lap, they will deliberately all go slow until you get back on the lead lap. But if you have it on off, they will race at full pace. They will race to the best of their ability. And I notice having it off that way makes them a lot more highly competitive and makes for much more closer, exciting racing on this as well. Also, caution auto drive I have off, and traction control and speed assist, of course you cannot have them off. So thank you guys for watching this video today. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment down in the section below. Let me know what you think. This is a very long time since I've done an IndyCar series video. I'm looking to at least get 100 views or more so that I can make some more of these cast it up videos, and then I might get onto a series. Yeah, but if you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe. And this is King Viper, guys, and a big shout out to my man Major Payne. A big thank you to him as well for that, because I know that Major Payne, you need a lot of help with this game. I know everything about it, how to race it. I grew up playing this game as a kid. This was my childhood game, and I remember I could never master this game. But then one day I found all these car setups, and it's just changed the way that you can play this game. It totally changes the way you play it. And yeah, so if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, like button, guys. This is King Viper, and peace out.